Uh, Good evening, sir. First of all, thanks a lot, sir, for giving me this time for this interview for my PhD. Just before starting, I'm just going to give a brief about what I'm doing and what I'm planning to do in the future also. I'm doing my PhD, and my topic of PhD is destination branding as a tool for the economic upliftment of Jaunsar Bawar. So what's my purpose of doing is this. I want to utilize this destination branding as a concept so that we can divide into several verticals and help in reviving our economy in Jaunsar Bawar, so that we can actually in a way help in controlling the migration problem which we as a hilly district is facing at this period of time. So almost all Uttarakhand is facing this problem. So I'm trying to use this in our area, and let's see how the things will work out. So to start with, I just want to get an info that you are also doing your PhD in field of Jaunsar Bawar. So can you give a brief on that thing, sir?
Uh, well, I'm doing on, basically dynamics of socio-cultural changes among Jaunsari tribe. That's my subject. And what I realized, after going through various books and literatures available on the area, I found that insider has not spoken the story of Jaunsar. We were told a story and we were made to believe that story. So I, as an insider, took it upon myself to tell the story the way insider understands it, the way insider would, tell about the culture to the world, and perhaps, it was not just scratching the surface, but getting to the soul of the culture, and that was the whole intent why I started. Otherwise, at this age, perhaps no, I would have, continued with my expertise in maritime world, which I am trained for, last 4 decades.
Yeah, that's I know, sir. So taking ahead in my interview, so you are pretty much involved with anthropology and the history of Jaunsar Bawar. So let's starting because destination branding could be of various aspects. So there are, if we are talking about tourists, so when tourists come to a place, there are various types of tourists who come to a place. Some comes for just looking for the scenic beauty. Some comes for looking out for the food and other things, culture. Some look out for historical facts and other things which are related to that particular area. So, hello.
Have you finished your question?
Yes, sir.
So, it's just a wonderful idea. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, sir. So, in that aspect,
have you finished your question?
Sir, just that is remaining. I was asking so that perspective.
Okay. I think it's a good question.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. So I was saying that from
you got cut off here.
Okay. Now it's okay, sir.
Yeah, it's okay now. It's okay. Yeah, you go ahead and.
So I was asking from the historical perspective, what are the various things which tourists can come to Jaunsar Bawar and understand Jaunsar Bawar from a historical perspective. And done in this field in our area, but you have done a lot of research in this field. If you can throw some light so that others can also gain from this perspective, sir.
All right. Okay. Our area is rich in historical background, going right from the evolution of our king. They call it King Mahasudevta, who came to that area. Right from that perspective, if you go, centuries ago. That's the time when it has come, how it came there, what was the history of the area, which was, the Kirmir devil who was creating havoc in that area. Perhaps that's a wonderful story to tell, and how Mahasudevta itself, it's a kingdom of Mahasudevta. Everything he dictates is followed, even by the government machinery. He rules. He passes the instruction, and everyone, whether they are working outside, they are literate, they are educated. There is one common point which binds all the people staying in Jaunsar Bawar and part of Himachal.
Yes.
One district in Himachal also was called Masu district. So the influence of this king or this deity is so much that the history, if it is portrayed well, perhaps that can be one single point which can really get the tourists to that area. Secondly, we have been talking of Pandavas, that, Pandavas came to the area, and other day, I addressed this Lok Panchayat people. I said perhaps the Kashas of Jaunsar, they were existing even before Pandavas.
Okay.
And I did, relate to the evidences available on Mahabharata, on various other literatures, older books, Vedas. There is references to Kashas, and they were following the rituals which Pandav subsequently also followed. So that is another historical this thing. Thirdly, you have Chitrashila at Kalsi. That means historically this place occupied importance, and that's why perhaps the Ashoka pillar has been erected there. Perhaps Samraj, it came right up to the foothill of Jaunsar, that is Kalsi, which comes in Jaunsar Bawar. So if you look from historical point of view, it has a lot of historical this thing to sell. And additionally, Barat Khai, there was a Killa there, kingdom. Yeah. There was, Sirmor, we were with Sirmor earlier, how various attackers, including some Mughals, subsequently Britishers, how they tried to come and how the brave soldiers of that area repulsed them. That itself is a history which has been undermined. I said the other day, I was talking, if it was not for Nathiram of Jaunsar, that, Yodha you call, or the brave men of Jaunsar, perhaps history of Jaunsar wouldn't have been there.
Okay.
Those Mughals would have come and taken over everything, and perhaps we wouldn't have existed. It would have been called some other area altogether. But the bravery has been underplayed. This can be a historical thing to play up these people who have sacrificed and who have made us what we are today, Jaunsaris, proud Jaunsaris. And just because of us being in Sirmaur, the kingdom that time, and subsequently attached to Saranpur and then to Dehradun district, the bravery of that gentleman has got lost in this transition.
Okay.
He was given a reward by the king of Sirmaur. They call it Galda, that is the lion, this thing, Sher. So it has got lost due to the various changes, and neither the government of Himachal nor the Uttarakhand is recognizing that. So there is history. There is a historical aspect to it. And then, yes, you can go back in religious history of the area, Badrinath, Kedarnath. That also is a historical fact, why they were located there. How various goddesses and gods are placed all over in this area. So that also forms a history.
Sir, you have served the Indian government at a very senior level, and you must have visited various places in India and abroad. So, sir, taking this historical perspective ahead, so what are the steps government can take so that these areas could develop in a better way, where more and more tourists could be welcomed in a manner where they can get more knowledge about Jaunsar Bawar and its history?
Yeah, you said it, like I did my courses in USA, almost a year I was there, and visited all these native Indians settlement there. Yeah. And, it was really impressive to see how they have preserved their history, how they are keeping them there, how they are showcasing what they were doing. How they have preserved the kind of implements they were using. And there are people, the city itself, one of the city is there where you go, especially to see how they remained, and it is beautifully portrayed. Okay. So what I'm saying is, if you are trying to use the history for, branding or area for, getting more people there, improving financial condition of the people,
Yes, sir.
you will have to create a credibility
Okay.
of that aspect, because more important here would be the perception you are creating in the minds of the visitors. They have to carry, they will come once, and you may continue to have your own perception, but the perception they carry post the visit
Ji.
will dictate your brand. So it is important that there is a credibility, and whatever we are delivering, that should be liked by the people who are coming in there.
Okay.
When I'm talking of, it should have a powerful idea, conveying a powerful idea about the history, which is unique in itself. And it has to resonate with the visitors. It has to resonate with the visitors. The way I told you about Red Indian, they don't like it. It's a native Indians I can, talk about. And so these kind of things are important if you have to build historical perspective. And then with that, you also need to have accessibility to the area. That's very important. Nobody would like to come and say that he has to travel 20 hours to reach a place where he can know a bit about history. No. So that means air transportation, helicopter services, more, road transportation. I know the train is going to be a bit of a problem there. So those kind of aspects have to come in, and then creating an infrastructure. Even if people are coming, let's say they come to see, at Lakhamandal or Chakrata or Tuni or Hanol. Even in Hanol, other than a guest house there are hardly any facilities. Hygiene factor, even if you have created a facility, is there a parking lot there? Is there a space around? Is there people will not only come for a specific thing. They will spend some time in religious, activity or understanding that religious tourism. Side by side, you will have to be having other area of occupying their time and gainfully. So when I'm talking about occupying the thing, what are the other area then, other than religious? It has to be side by side. It is not one factor.
There's many factors.
It has to be many factors put together so that you give them a package where they feel like coming back again and again. So with historical tourism, I would say religious tourism.
Yes,
Can be clubbed with it. The people of that nature can come there. Topographical, allow people to go and see Himalayas. Allow them to see the beauty of, all those pine tree near Devan. And people will love it if it is, built up in a way that we need to build up. Let them see that. Let them see adventure tourism. You've got rock climbing. You've got jungle safaris. So it is not only one. So you'll have to tell them that, okay, on the way to Hanol, first destination will be at point A, where they will be put through, topographical thing will be seen from Devan or something. You can have another destination next day where they can do, some adventure activities. Like I said, jungle safari or rock climbing. And see, ethnomedicine itself is a big issue. That's, telling people about how rich this area is, about all the plants, which most of us do not know, but outsiders have done research and they are, taking out everything from there. That is, it has got unspoiled wilderness, this area. The luxury of breathing a pure oxygen, allowing people to have their, free of cool time, and cultural tourism. Well, you can't have a better place than Jaunsar Bawar.
Sure, sir.
It's so rich. You take them during one of the festival, or allow people to come in that dress at a place, and these tourists get a glimpse of what our area is all about. It's happening in other countries. You go to Vietnam, you go to Japan, you go to even Sri Lanka. Anywhere, they will showcase the culture through some kind of this thing. And agro tourism, again, there's so much, people are talking about, we want a specific kind of food which is grown naturally. There are some destinations in Europe
Yeah.
You know, where people go, even the best of the people, where a house is given to them, they pick up their own vegetable from the kitchen garden, they cook themselves, and they're left to in a peaceful environment. Of course, there has to be protection provided to them. There has to be support staff available right next door. Cleaning has to be proper so that it is liked by the people who visit once. So branding will be perfect, provided it occupies the space in the mind of the people who are visiting first time. They will become your brand ambassador. To say that if you have to love something, this provides the complete package of all activities. But like I said, there has to be a committee. There has to be people sitting down. It cannot be that, okay, somebody open a small little hut somewhere and, okay, we have started the tourism. No, it has to be worked out, some team, auditing team, some people taking feedback from the first visitor, some people who are implementing those suggestions, some people who are working on, government has to be part of it. Some people who are saying, okay, how can we, even if it is a private worker, private players, let them run a helicopter services. People don't mind paying, provided you establish a value. They will come from everywhere to see that. And then, of course, like I said, you will have to sell yourself very, very adequately. You have to let the market know that you exist and there is some uniqueness about your branding, about your historical or cultural or religious or adventure activities or whatever. You can actually count and there can be plethora. And till the time you don't create that opportunity, people in the area, they're poor. And you are creating it with a view to see that this is combined with the economical upliftment of the people. Very good idea. So, very good idea.
Thanks a lot, sir. You have actually touched base on various points, which I'm going to pick it up. Just continuing with that historical thing, sir, there are two things you have talked about. One thing is about credibility. Sir, how to work on the credibility then? How the people of Jaunsar should work on the credibility of our history, and how the government should help the people of Jaunsar to improve this thing so that we can become a historical destination for people coming from various places. It could be India, it could be abroad also.
I will, the best thing to do is to be honest with what you're doing. Sir. Do not preach what you can't practice.
Okay.
So your advertisement, you're trying to tell the world that this is the best place to come, and finally they come and they go with this thing. Building up a credibility is ensuring that the services provided are much better than what they are imagining. Sure. You have to play with the minds of the visitors. What would they like, not what you like. Sure. Is their comfort level taken care of? Is their liking taken care of? Are you, watching them every now and then? Is there any irritants which has to be removed? What kind of environment would they like to have in? We can't be, nosy, every time they want an independent space. So that means we have to train the people. Sure. There has to be, if at all you have to employ the people of the area in such kind of endeavors which you are making, there has to be a skill development. Sure. There has to be a large-scale skill development. Those people are not yet fully equipped. No, it is not demeaning. It is just that we lack training in entertaining the people of various societies, various cultures, and no culture can be bad. We can't be judgmental on the people who are coming in, Atiti Devo Bhav. And we have to be surrendering ourselves completely to the likes of the people who are trying to visit and understand us better so that they come next time. You go to any of the countries, go to Vietnam, go to Sri Lanka even, go to Maldives, go to Japan, go to Singapore. You see how welcoming the people there are. They will go to any extent to meet, your requirement as a tourist. Whether it is in a hotel, it's traveling by a taxi. So everything, all that package, how you start, let's say some gentleman or the, couple come from, Europe. The moment they land up in India, let's say Delhi or Bombay, there has to be somebody telling them, okay, you are for us, make them feel wanted. We know how to go, sir. This is what you have talked to us. This is a means from here to Dehradun. You can go by this thing. Next flight is so and so. Just that much is good enough. That much is good enough. And then they get into the flight. Somebody in Dehradun, you have a small little office at the airport, or somebody meets them there, say that this is your vehicle to go to next place. And that makes them happy. Right on the end, brief them how the road is, how are we going to, where are they going to have eating joints on the way. If they're not, they can pick up there. And then on the way, having the vehicle, which meets a minimum level of standard they are used to. Having a driver who is polite, having somebody on the road, if they get into this thing, having a telephone number given to them where they can contact in case they get into any kind of problem. And on the way, somebody monitoring from the destination, wherever you reach, sir, looking forward to see you. And once they reach there, welcome them. Go to Maldives, go to those islands there and stay there for 2-3 days. You know how good it is that they will be positive. There has to be positivity all around. Do not be judgmental on how you perceive their culture. Love that. Love them unconditionally. As long as there is nothing unethical, even if it is there, there are ways to resolve those issues. So credibility will be improved with absolute good training and that entire package of tourism, getting reinvigorated. We have to reinvigorate it, and then only this is possible.
Sir, I'm pretty hopeful that many of the people who are working with the government at India level and the state level will listen to your viewpoints in this interview also. So a very beautiful viewpoint you have told us that when you talked about the Red Indians in USA. On that basis, I guess, as you have mentioned, there's a very beautiful point coming up that we can also develop a museum related to Jaunsar Bawar. So where people
Absolutely
come and see our various aspects of historical aspects, of cultural aspects, and other things.
I would, absolutely love it. And why at one place? We can showcase the culture with a group of people who also could be paid and hired wherever your main destinations are during their leisure time. This is happening right on the Nepal border. Those northeast, you go there, you go to the villages. They will say, sir, we will show you some of our culture. Evening, they'll organize the evening for you. And, it's happening there. So what you're saying is having a museum, not only at one place. One can be a big museum at Dehradun or, Kalsi or somewhere. But all these destinations can have a replica of that museum. What the implement you carry, what are the clothes you wear. And then evening, perhaps there can be a cultural program so that the visitors get to meet those people, get to see the artists in the area. And it can be a positive, allow them to mix with the people for dance and so as to, mood enhancing basically, and positive mood enhancing.
Sir, I was following your talk show with Lok Panchayat earlier, and in that you have mentioned about a Hornbill festival in Northeast.
Yeah.
So we have so many festivals. So can we develop Jaunsar Bawar as a festival destination also, where people can come?
Absolutely. That's you touched the thing. I've been thinking, after once I was doing, I did classes for about 6 months, classroom instruction. So it came out from, this Hornbill festival in Northeast. It's become such a hit. Mm-hmm. And this can be independent of tourism. Tourism will come because of this festival. Okay. And you would know, since you also come from the same area, that there is very little exchange of ideas even within the community in Jaunsar Bawar. One village growing something, other village won't know till the time they see that, results have been good. So this congregation or this festival perhaps can allow various people within Jaunsar Bawar, all those 400 villages, people to meet, get their items which they are displaying, have their culture displayed at various, this thing, and visitors will come. There is no doubt, and have it put in a place where there is enough infrastructure development, where people get enough space to stay. They are not inconvenienced that there is no water, there is no road, road is blocked today, there is no alternate means of this thing. Telephone and internet facilities are proper, and they have a seamless connectivity. If we create this kind of a festival can really transform us, and other ideas will start coming in from the people who come in. They will give us idea, and we will sell our idea to them. And there can't be a more beautiful culture than this, dear. If we take it forward, perhaps half the problem will get sorted out.
Thanks a lot, sir. Sir, because the idea which you were giving regarding Hornbill Festival in Northeast, in the same, there's a group in Dehradun called BTDT group. It's run by Mr. Lokesh Ori. He's a pretty good social activist in Dehradun, and he written a book on Jaunsar Bawar, also Chalda Maharaj.
I have his book with me, Till Kingdom Come. I'm just, Mr. Hori's book, and I'm part of that group which you're talking about. I'm already part of that group, historical, this thing. I've got that book right here somewhere, Till Kingdom Come. And here it is. This is the book.
This is the book.
I've read it in my this thing, and he is a genius. Of course, he's written quite a lot on this, and that gives us a glimpse of how much outsider are putting in effort to understand our culture.
So on that basis, I just want to bring in your knowledge also. This BTD groups took twice their people from Dehradun and nearby areas to our local areas in Jaunsar Bawar to show them Bisu festival. And the people, they were so impressed by the festival, by the people over there and other things. And they were like, यार, हमने कभी सोचा ही नहीं था कि ऐसा भी कुछ होता है. And so nearby to Dehradun.
That's it.
So that's the thing which we are talking about. कि हम हमारे इतने सारे festivals हैं. We talk about Bisu, we talk about Jagra, we talk about Mark festival, we talk about our special Diwali. So
Bisu.
So अगर इसके ऊपर हम लोग कुछ कर सकें, एक फेस्टिवल टूरिज्म ही डेवलप हो जाएगा इस सेंस में, as you have clearly mentioned on that.
No doubt. And for that, what will have to be done is that the villages, can try villages. They will have to have homestay facilities. Some of the houses, the people who are coming in to see because festival lasts for 2-3 days. Whether it is Bisu or it is not that they go to a ground where they see dance and they see not at all. If people have to understand the culture, we will have to allow them to mingle around with caution, of course, so that our culture do not get anyway, drifting. It doesn't get drifted anyway. But at the same time, allowing people to house these people and providing them facilities which look good even at village level. So creating that infrastructure, and so that people stay there, see Diwali, see Bisu, see Dashera, see Jagra, and see those festivals associated with the deities of the place.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful culture.
In this regard, I wish to take your viewpoints in this sense that when we are talking about festivals and we are talking about people coming in to see our festivals. So in this regard, festivals should be celebrated at the village level or should be celebrated at the Khat level or as a Jaunsar Bawar as one level. What do you feel will be better so that we can provide best facilities?
See, beauty of the festival lies in celebrating it at village level. Village level, one is that festival should continue to be celebrated at village level because there is participation of every old, young, people not having money to go to that second destination, and it's for everyone in the village. So it brings in that happiness in entire community, irrespective of somebody is rich or poor or old or young, and there is 100% participation. So that should not be left. Once we shift it to a business center, it becomes more of a idea where select group from the village are going to participate, and the whole village will be deprived of the celebration of the festival. So I would say that we should continue to have it at village level. And yes, to promote our culture, there has to be during the same time some specified place where we can have facilities for the visitors to come and see everything, right from how you have that various dances of Harin, Hathi, evening you have those various programs which are there, Haryali, and all those things. It can really change the perception of Jaunsar. Rather than talking about some old thing which has become extinct now, people will say that if you have to see a culture and allow them to see how the marriages take place there, dear. It's a message to the whole world how they help each other, whether in marriages, in death, in casualty, in any kind of disaster. They don't worry about who is coming from Dehradun, and they're all there. Middle of the night, they will pick up on their own, hand or with their own hand. And even if it is some small little makeshift arrangement which has to be made to transport a patient by, foot. Buraila was a case 2 years back. 13 kilometers, people of Buraila, they had to carry a lady who was having complication during delivery, 14 kilometers to reach a nearest roadhead. So we stay there. And if this kind of a the sense of belonging to each other is not there, they will die for others' cause. If it is your marriage, whole village come and help you and say, okay, you relax. If there is a death in your family, they take over entire process. Where else in this world today do you see that kind of culture? And it is completely with them, and they will not let you down. They will not let you down. So that's the beauty of the culture, which is extinct. Nobody has highlighted that. And perhaps it's a generation of yours and us who will have to tell the world that learn from us. This is what we are doing. Despite our harsh conditions, we still can teach a few lessons to the other cultures.
So continuing with that thing, as we have talked about the culture, we have talked about the history, we have talked about the festivals and that thing. There's one very important component of culture is food. Food of Jaunsar Bawar. We have variety of and pretty healthy foods in the current scenario. We talk about fast food generation. We actually can. I feel that we can actually change that food habit and bring them to back to the healthy food habits. So can you give us some guidance on the aspects of food tourism in Jaunsar Bawar and how it should be carried on?
Absolutely. Actually, it is. You said the point. We had this Pravasi Sammelan, and I don't know whether you attended. Did you attend that Pravasi Sammelan?
No, sir, no.
There was a Pravasi Sammelan. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
No, you can't.
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, we had a Jaunsari food in one of the seminar.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yeah.
Entire Jaunsari food for morning and evening on Pravasi Sammelan. And, the variety, people relish it. And if people come to our area, the food which we eat there is meant to, meet the environmental requirement of being in that area. Whether it is a ghee. Now, our ancestors, they were eating and they lived quite long. So that cholesterol thing didn't come there. Now, the research is coming that if ghee of a particular variety, it doesn't increase your cholesterol. And that's what they were doing. They had good, healthy food in everything, whatever they were eating, whether it is, the vegetables grown, homegrown, it is a food, raw food. We still had those chakkis which run through a water, this thing, and where, the grains were not completely made this thing. It was slightly more, this thing, grains were left thicker. And that is what healthy food is all about. It was all organic food. If they eat meat or something, yes, there is a requirement of having some fat in the body, because every time they have to put in that much more effort to climb the hills and this thing, and even other food. And it's actually, I would say, that's an excellent idea. And our food can be, taken outside the confines of Jaunsar. And like, I will tell you one small point. Burger King, you would know, it had only one restaurant in Miami Beach somewhere in 1954 or so.
Okay.
And today it has got about 12,000 restaurants
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, now that's branding.
Mm-hmm.
So someone from us has to really create it. It's just the taste, So that justify, and I personally, not demeaning, the Burger King, our food I find is equally good.
Sir.
If someone, like there is a pure restaurant only dealing with this thing, someone stand up and say that, okay, let me put in some effort in trying to sell it at some festival you are talking about. First introduce there, then bring it to some other areas. So it is excellent idea. And I'm sure if it is experimented well, sky is the limit there. That can fetch more revenue again to the people staying there if we take it to the logical conclusion.
So, taking ahead this food part, recently
Yeah.
I attended one webinar, e-webinar from Portugal. They were celebrating their wine tourism over there. And in Jaunsar, we are हम लोग जो ये सूर वगैरह की बात करते हैं, they have been pretty healthy as per at that point of time, क्योंकि जिस हिसाब से from the food grains and वो सब से हम निकालते हैं. So on that perspective, can we go ahead with a type of tourism like wine tourism and other things, so that we can showcase our other this part?
Absolutely.
Sir.
See, what you're saying is it is taken in a negative sense.
Yeah.
This is absolutely purely branded, liquor,
yeah.
and which is devoid of any kind of, I would say, any kind of impurity. It's a pure this thing which is made in a synthesized manner, and which is considered to be the best possible this thing. Perhaps that is one. And even poppy farming, which was allowed earlier, and some areas are still allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't it be allowed in Jaunsar? Not for making them this thing under absolute vigilance of the people. Now these days, even drones are there and everything. It will allow them to, and it grows there in that area. Allow them to cultivate, and it is required for medicinal value. Some of the areas in Uttar Kashi or elsewhere, it is being allowed. So by all means, we not only wine, even that other production of poppy and this thing, that also can be allowed the way it was being allowed earlier. It should be with the permission of the government, and put them in whatever restrictions are required. But you have a wonderful idea. Yes, very much. That should be there.
So thanks for your input in this also, sir. So taking forward these things, we have talked about history, we have talked about festival, food and other things, culture and other things. There's always a point when we talk about branding, there's a rallying point. There should be always be a rallying point around which the people get around together and start working towards the betterment of the society. So while doing this research, sir, there's an idea which came to my mind, and you can help in bettering that idea. There's an idea that on 24 June 1967, we were recognized by the Constitution of India as a scheduled tribe. So why not? Why not celebrate the 24 June as our Jaunsar Bawar Divas, as a foundation day for Jaunsar Bawar itself? So that on a day where we can showcase to the world about our food, about our culture, about our various other things, and people can come from various places and join us in that. It could be 3-4 day event, and we can project us. What's your viewpoint?
Well, idea is good, but I am not sure if it will be really taking with the outside. If we celebrate the day we have been given this status of scheduled tribe along with 5 other community in Uttarakhand, so we got together in 67. This may allow people to talk about why they are having this status. Already there is quite a lot of talk going on. So, at local level. So we will give more impetus to the people who do not wish us to grow independently. So let's not highlight something which make people jealous and say that, fine, they've got such a good culture, customs and all that. Though government of India is wiser, they know exactly, the literacy rate is poor, number of people who get job is very less. The kind of culture and customs and the remoteness of the areas, like I told you, in Baila, 14 kilometer they have to carry a lady. So that's the difficulty level, which most of the people won't understand. So starting a celebration on a point which is already a contention with some section of people, I would think instead of trying to bolster the image on that celebration day, it may do us more harm than good.
Okay. Point taken, sir. Point taken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, more or less, I have touched base on almost all the points which I wish to get a feel from you. And thanks a lot for your inputs and various other points. And I will be coming back to you again if I feel that there is something which I need to get more information on that. So I will be needing more of your time.
Anytime. Anytime. I'm proud of you. You've taken up this challenge, and I wish more people like you, dear, they take up these kind of studies, and that is going to make difference. It will not be one individual trying to open a restaurant, and no, the long-term changes will come about by these kind of detailed studies, research, and trying to tell the world, what we are, so that others see through this research as to what this area, what the opportunity there are. It's a research work. It's not one article written here and there. So I wish you all the very best. You are one of the brightest boy from the area, and God should bless you, dear. Continue to do your job well wherever you are, and continue to support your area. They need people like you to further bolster our image.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the wishes, sir. And I will do my
all the best. All the best.
Thank you.
All the best. God bless you, dear. Yeah.